Well, it's that time of year again. I'm not thinking about my Freddie Mercury look, even though men's health is really important. It's getting darker and it's getting colder. Winter is soon upon us, and it's time to put your bike in for winter storage. There's one thing I would like to fix on my bike before next year's season. The bar or the rod over the dashboard is quite flimsy, so it kind of vibrates a lot when you ride on gravel roads. And to solve this issue, I know exactly who I'm gonna call. A friend of mine in Molde, Hestad, my own Reodor Felgen, is the perfect guy to find a creative solution to this problem.
Okay. First of all, Reodor Felgen, internationally, he's known as Theodore Rimspoke, and he is nothing like me. He's a, let's say, a Norwegian action hero, not with superpowers, but he's more like a engineer, inventor, self-made man. Is he just like me? Anyway, I asked Thomas to send me some pictures of his dashboard and explain the problem, do some measurements. While he was doing that, I googled the problem, and this seems to be quite known for this Yamaha Tenere, that the dashboard is a bit wobbly. Several solutions already exist, but that is for the previous models. The World Raid model, which has a new dashboard, needs a new solution, and let's see if I can make one. And from what Thomas told me, especially the sideways movement, vibrations, that is the problem. So I need something that can hold this frame or this bar on top there, hold it steady. Here Thomas has taken a picture of the rod, and the windscreen is off here. There is only one bolt at the bottom that holds the speedometer. What I want to do is make some kind of clamp around the rod with a bolt on top and bottom, and then I need to make it so it is sturdy and goes down, and I hope this will keep it stiffer. To make it not too weak, I will just continue on the top here like this. What do you think? The plan looks nice. And also, because of this design with this bracket on top here, I have thought of a bonus solution for Thomas. I know for a fact that Thomas, when he's driving around, he is recording a lot, and he has the same camera as me, and that is a DJI action camera. And I thought I'd give him an extra feature by adding a mount for it on top of this bracket. It is, by the way, the same type of mount that a GoPro camera uses. Something like this shouldn't be too hard to make. The plan is then ready. I need some measurements, and Thomas has sent me some pictures where he has pinpointed the distance between some of the critical components. You can see here from the side, it will not be that easy to make this fit on the first attempt. And that is why I think a 3D printed solution is perfect for this application. So what I'm going to do now is to create a proper 3D model on my PC, and then I will print it on my 3D printer. The 3D modeling, however, takes some time. But for you, it will only take a second. And here it is. It's not supposed to be yellow. It will be printed in black plastic material. I just added on the yellow color here so you more easily can see the bracket. Let me show you quickly how I did this part of the process. The first thing I did was to try to create this dashboard part. And then I made the GPS and hope that this was similar to the measurements that Thomas has sent me. The last thing then was to make this bracket, and then comes the last step before 3D printing. This model is made out of two objects. and each of them needs to be converted to a 3D printable file. I use a separate software for this. It's called a slicer. And the reason for it, you can see it here. The 3D printer needs to put on the plastic material layer for layer. And you can even see here how the 3D printer is putting on each of the layers. Pretty cool, eh? And finally, the object will be printed. This piece is a bit more challenging to print because the 3D printer can't print in thin air. And you can see here, because of this angle, it has a piece that is not touching the print bed. So what's happening? The slicer is adding on some layers here with, it's called support. And you can see here that this part of the print, it's just there to support the layers as it gets higher. And this just needs to be taken off the print when it's done and thrown away. It's the best to avoid support. It's an extra use of material, and it's not that easy to take it off and get a pretty surface under here, but sometimes there is no way around it. You can see behind me here is my 3D printer. And what I have to do now is transfer these files over to it. This big piece takes 1.5 hours to 3D print. The small one was around 45 minutes. So then it just sit back and relax and let the printer do its job. And the 3D prints are done. Just some minor tasks left now before I can ship it to Thomas so he can test it. I gotta try to peel off this support. Sometimes it just snaps off. Yep, perfect. This time it was easy. This small bracket needs a nut here, 4 nuts. So I will use my soldering iron and push the nuts in so they're not falling out. And the whole point now by the 3D printing and why that is such a great solution for this, I don't know if this is gonna fit. No, I'm gonna ship it to Thomas. He's gonna test it out. It's probably not perfect on the first try, and I can adjust my model, 3D print a new one, ship it over, and we do this again and again until we finally get a solution we are happy with. So I put this in a package and ship it to Thomas.
And today I actually got the first prototype, so let's open it up and see how it looks. Oh, really nice. Well, I don't have too much experience with 3D printing myself, but it's quite amazing to see how well the final product looks and how it feels, and it's really lightweight as well. So I went down to my garage and I tried to mount the prototype one, but it didn't fit that well. It was a couple of angles on the bracket that was a little bit wrong compared to the dashboard, and the center hole wasn't low enough, so I had to do a couple of adjustments to the prototype one with my fane saw so I could take some pictures to better visualize for Hestad so he could make improvements to the prototype too.
My goodness gracious.
As I thought, the first prototype didn't fit. So Thomas has taken some new pictures, sent it over to me, and made some new measurements. And you can see the main problem here. The angle I put on the bracket is not steep enough. So Thomas took his Dremel and cut out a piece here to be able to put it on. Also, this hole at the bottom needs to be a bit lower. Thomas has put on the bolt. It doesn't reach up to the rod. So I need to make it a bit bigger. The camera, it's touching the windscreen at the front of the windscreen. So I need to tilt the camera backwards on the bike. And I've already prepared a new model. I have made a copy of the original bike dashboard construction, and I made the speedometer part a bit bigger, so it's a tighter space here. And if I then show you the old bracket and the new bracket I made, you will see the slight modifications. This wasn't a big job for me. I just tilted the camera mount, as you can see, a bit forward. This part is a bit have a more distance, so it will be a lot more support materials now to print it. That's why I also made this bottom part of the bracket with a hole in it. Then I don't need that much support. I already 3D printed it, and here you will see the support piece I took off. At least I saved a bit material here in the middle. One issue though, if you can see this image, I can zoom in here. It's actually down here. I thought Thomas always were wearing his Crocs when he is not wearing motorcycle boots, so I think this needs an explanation, Thomas. What's going on here?
What? You never wash your Crocs? So it's been a couple of weeks and I finally get my hands on the Prototype 2. Here's I make some small adjustments from Prototype 1. And I have to say, this Prototype 2 looks way better than the first one we did. So now let's head over to the garage and see how well it fit on the bike. It's just a little bit too close to that button. It doesn't touch, but a little bit with the knife and this will be perfect. Yeah, I'm really happy with the fit of this prototype. It just completely takes away the wobble on the dashboard on the World Raid. And you're probably curious about what screws I use. On top, the four screws on top are M5 screws, about 2 centimeters long, and the one below is a M6 screw that are approximately 3 centimeters long. And we will make this available for everyone. You can find the link down below, or just head over to my Ko-fi page. I will put it up there completely free of charge, so you can download. This is just a drawing of the prototype. You have to print it yourself or find someone who can print it for you. And I really just want to thank Hestad for helping me out with this issue. It's been a blast working on this project together. If you have any questions about the prototype or fitment or anything, just please leave them in the comment below and I'll try to answer you the best I can. This is all I got for you this time. I want to take the time to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And yeah, take care, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.